Warning, this video might offend a lot of productivity gurus. Have you ever tried to become extremely disciplined? Waking up at 5 a.m., following strict routines, forcing yourself every single day, only to burn out and feel like a failure after a few weeks. You're not alone. Here's the harsh truth almost nobody says out loud. Discipline is overrated. Forcing yourself with willpower every single day is one of the worst ways to improve your life. In this video, I'm going to show you what actually works and how to start today without burning yourself out. Everyone tells you the same thing. Just be more disciplined. Wake up at 5 a.m. Follow this strict routine. Have unbreakable willpower. But here's what almost nobody says out loud. Discipline is overrated. Forcing yourself every single day with pure willpower is one of the worst long-term strategies for self-improvement. Why? Because willpower is a limited resource. It gets drained throughout the day like a battery. When it runs out, you crash, you feel guilty, you quit, and then you think something is wrong with you. I've been there. I tried the ultra-disciplined lifestyle. I woke up at 5 a.m., followed strict plans, and said no to everything fun. For a few weeks, I felt like a warrior until I burned out completely. The truth is, relying heavily on discipline is exhausting and unsustainable for most human beings. I know it would work for some individuals if it works fine, work that way. It turns self-improvement into mental torture for many people. And the worst part, when you eventually fail, society and you says and thinks a bunch of identity statements like label yourself as lazy or weak, or it is my fault, when in reality, you are using the wrong system. These are identity statements because they are not descriptions of fixed reality. This is why so many people who start with high motivation end up quitting and feeling worse than before. Discipline is not the solution. It's a short-term tool that most people misuse as a long-term strategy. So, if discipline is overrated, what's the real problem with it? The hidden problem is this. Traditional discipline creates a toxic cycle most people never notice. You start with high motivation. You set strict rules. You push yourself hard. For a short time, it feels good. You feel strong, in control, almost superior. But slowly, the pressure builds. Your willpower gets drained. You start missing days. One missed workout becomes two. One lazy morning becomes a whole week. And every time you fail, you don't just feel disappointed. You feel ashamed. You start telling yourself, I have no discipline. I'm weak. I can't even stick to simple things. This is the hidden trap. You're not fighting your goals anymore. You're fighting yourself. Traditional discipline turns self-improvement into a war against your own nature. It ignores the fact that you're a human being with limited energy, emotions, and fluctuating motivation, not a machine. And when you eventually burn out, which most people do, you don't just quit the routine. You lose trust in yourself. That loss of self-trust is the real damage. Because once you start believing you're someone who can't stick to anything, it becomes much harder to change in the future. This is why so many people stay stuck for years, jumping from one strict routine to another, always ending up back at square one, feeling more broken each time. So, if forcing discipline doesn't work long-term, then what actually does? Before I tell you the solution, I want to share something important. Have you ever forgotten something that should be integral to your identity? Like your mother's or father's birthday, the name of your best friend, the day you felt the happiest, or the day you felt the most ashamed. We rarely forget these things, but when you finish reading a book and close it, you forget 90% of it. Some people forget the entire book. Why did you study so hard for an exam? Why did you force all that information into your head? Because you had to. You never had to memorize your own name or your best friend's name. You just remember them naturally. This is how the human brain works. If you actually need something or care about it deeply, you remember it. If you don't, you forget. Okay, now let's get to the main point. How do you feel at the end of the day when you've done what you planned to do? And how do you feel when you haven't? The difference is massive. If you actually want to do something, you do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't. The most important word here is actually. Now, here's what actually works. Stop trying to be a disciplined person. Start becoming the type of person who naturally does the right things. For example, instead of thinking, I need to work out today, ask yourself, what will happen to me if I don't work out today? Instead of thinking, I need to read for 30 minutes, ask, what will happen if I don't read today? Why do we put things off until tomorrow? Doing today what can be done today creates tomorrow's peace. You have to start thinking this way. You have to get used to it. You have to like the person you're becoming. And here's a simple but powerful trick I use every time you fail to do something you planned. Take a pen and paper and write down the exact date, time, and reason why. Our brain hates seeing its own patterns tracked. When you do this, you naturally stop repeating the same mistake over and over again. I know this sounds stupid to some people, but it works. This is not about forcing discipline. This is about understanding how your brain works and working with it instead of against it. So how do you actually start? You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. You don't need to completely change your life in 1 week. That's how most people fail. Here's a practical way to begin without burning yourself out. Step 1, start ridiculously small. Don't aim for perfection, aim for consistency. If you want to work out, start with just 5 minutes. If you want to read, start with 1 page. The goal is to win the day, not to impress anyone. Step 2, use backward thinking. Instead of thinking, what do I need to do today? Ask, what will happen if I don't do this today? Work backward from your desired future. This reduces the mental weight of uncertainty. Step 3, change your identity, not just your actions. Stop saying I need to be more disciplined. Start saying I'm the type of person who doesn't miss workouts. I'm the type of person who reads every day. Your brain starts aligning with this new identity. Step 4, track your failures. Every time you fail to do something you planned, write it down. Date, time, and the real reason. This simple act makes your brain aware of its patterns. You'll naturally repeat the mistake less. Step 5, protect your context. If someone tries to pull you into their plans while ignoring yours, politely say no without guilt. Your peace and goals matter too. You don't need to be extremely disciplined from day one. You just need to start small, stay consistent, and slowly become the person who does these things naturally. This is how real, lasting change happens, not through force, but through smart systems and identity. We've come to the end. Discipline is not useless, but relying on it as your main strategy is exhausting and often leads to failure. The real path to self-mastery is not about forcing yourself every day. It's about building smart systems, changing how you see yourself, and working with your brain instead of against it. You don't need to become a machine of unbreakable willpower. You need to become someone who naturally does the right things, even when motivation is low. This journey is not about perfection. It's about progress and self-understanding. The moment you stop fighting yourself and start designing your life around how your mind actually works, everything becomes easier. Most people will watch this video, feel inspired for a few hours, and then go back to their old patterns. But if you're still here, listening till the end, maybe you're not like most people. You have the power to change. The only question left is, will you start today? Thank you for watching. If this video helped you even a little, comment below. I choose systems. And if you want more raw, honest content on self-mastery, psychology, and real personal growth, subscribe to Self-Mastery and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.